Today, we are diving into something truly incredible, a concept that takes over a century of spiritual wisdom and plugs it directly into the cutting-edge technology of our time. We're talking about awakening your radiant center in the quantum age. Let's get started.
Now, let this sink in for a second. This was written way back in 1902 by Kate Atkinson Bohm. The idea that our thoughts aren't just these passive little echoes in our head, but are active, living forces that literally go out and shape our reality, well, that's the foundation for everything we're about to talk about. It was revolutionary then, and you're about to see how it's even more powerful now.
So let's start by unpacking this century-old secret. And, we're not just taking a history lesson here. We are digging up a powerful spiritual technology that was decades, maybe even a century ahead of its time. And we're going to see how it's getting a radical upgrade with the tools we have today. This timeline really shows you the wild evolution of this idea. It all kicks off in 1902 with Bohm's concept of a radiant center. You fast forward to today, and her principles are getting a complete makeover for the digital age. But the really mind-blowing part is what's just around the corner, where this ancient wisdom gets supercharged by things like neuroscience, AI, and even quantum metaphors. And that really brings us to the core question of this whole explainer. I mean, what actually happens when you fuse this deep spiritual insight with the most powerful scientific and tech tools that humanity has ever created? Well, the answer is a total game changer in how we can create real, tangible change in our lives. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of this system, your inner power source. This is the engine room. This is the very core of the entire framework for making things happen. Bohm had a name for this power source, the radiant center. She defined it as your inner divine spark. That's the origin point of all your power, all your ability to realize things, and it directly connects you to what she called the infinite mind. You can think of that as the universal energy that flows through, well, everything. And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. In really practical terms, the radiant center is the direct link. It's the pipeline where your mental energy flows outward to create real-world effects. We're talking about manifesting things like better health, more wealth, and a deep sense of inner peace. And here's where the old meets the new. Get this, the practice of focusing on this inner center isn't just spiritual. It can have measurable biological effects. Studies on similar practices, like focused meditation or positive affirmation, have shown they can actually boost key neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. Those are the chemicals in your brain that directly control your mood, your resilience, and your motivation. So the tool you use to aim all this power is mental focus. This is the central law of the whole system. When your thoughts are focused and disciplined, they stop being just passive wishes. They become live things, active commands that literally instruct that universal energy on what you want to create. Okay, now for the part that gets me really excited. Let's look at how this incredible century-old wisdom is getting a massive upgrade for the quantum age. This is where the ancient meets the future in the most powerful way you can imagine. Let's start with something you've probably heard of, visualization. Back in 1902, Bohm told people to mentally see what they wanted. Simple enough? But now we have immersive simulation. We can create digital experiences so real that they activate the exact same regions of your brain as the actual event. It makes your mental picture unbelievably powerful. And the best part is, the tools to do this are everywhere. You can use a VR headset for total 360-degree immersion. You can ask an AI like Midjourney to generate hyper-specific images for a vision board. Or you can even use apps that give you real-time feedback on your mental focus. It's incredible. All right, next up is affirmation. The classic practice was simple. Speak a word of power. Today, we can elevate this to what you might call a divine command protocol. We're basically using technology to layer in emotional resonance, to make our affirmations feel less like wishes and more like direct commands to the universe. And the tools for this are all around us, probably in your pocket right now. You can use a voice assistant to create hands-free affirmation loops that just play all day. You can use apps that actually modulate your voice to add emotional weight. Or you can even join online group sessions where the collective focus just amplifies the energy for everyone. So, what about the subconscious mind? Bohm saw it as this receptive engine, just waiting for direction. A more powerful way to think about it today is like a quantum processor. So think less of an engine waiting for fuel and more of a super sophisticated system that you can precisely reprogram with new software, and in this case, that new software is your new beliefs. And those precision tools, they exist right now. Guided hypnosis apps can help you access this processor. EEG biofeedback devices, which measure your brainwaves, can give you real-time data on how your mental state is literally shifting. And AI can even create personalized programs designed specifically to install those new beliefs. Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But how do you actually put it into practice? Let's switch gears from the what to the how and put together your own personal realization toolkit. Here is a super simple 4-step routine you could start tonight. First, visualize your goal. Use AI or VR to make it feel absolutely real. Second, affirm your command. Record it, loop it, and speak it with genuine power. Third, activate your subconscious. A great way to do this is with a guided app right before you fall asleep, because that's when your mind is most receptive. And finally, journal the outcomes. Track your progress and you'll reinforce the changes. And just to make it even easier, here are some examples of actual resources. You can find apps for all-in-one tracking, you can find community challenges for structure, AI tools for vision boards, and of course, online forums for support. The modern toolkit is literally ready and waiting for you. Now, let's zoom way out for a minute, from the individual to the collective, because the potential impact here is just staggering. I want you to look at this number, 30%. What on earth could that represent? That number represents the potential scale of this idea beyond just personal gain. The source material makes a pretty bold projection that by 2045, networks of people practicing these principles together could have a measurable impact on huge global issues, possibly reducing something like global inequality by as much as 30%. And that really brings us to our final and I think most important thought. This powerful fusion of spiritual wisdom and technology, it's a tool. And like any tool, it can be used to build things for everyone, or it can be used to hoard things for oneself. It can create collective harmony, or it can be focused only on individual gain. So the question this leaves us with is, what part will you play?